guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So I am back and rested from my holiday and my travels. So before I kind of get started on, my normal kind of videos, I wanted to come on and share with you what I got up to whilst I was on holiday, craft wise that is. I'll probably, drivel out various things that we did on holiday over the coming videos, but I just thought I would share with you the things that I took with me craft-wise, because obviously we were gone for kind of 3 weeks and that's a long time to go without any crafting, so I wanted to take some things. So I took this canvas bag. Now, I can't even fit this into the video, unfortunately, because obviously it's too close to the iPad. But it's just a standard shopper, kind of canvas shopper bag. It's not huge, it's just the normal, regular kind of size. So I took that, and you can see it's absolutely stuffed to the brim of bits and bobs. So I'm going to get everything out and show you what I took and then the types of things that I made that will hopefully, maybe give you some suggestions as to the types of things that you could take and do when you're on holiday. Right, I've emptied the bag out now so that I can show you the bits and bobs that I actually took, with me. So obviously took my scissors, couldn't be without those. Then I just gathered up a whole bunch of paper. I mean, you can see there is a lot of paper here. There's even a paper bag mixed in there. But I just grabbed literally, any bits of paper that I had laying around. So, I mean, I had lots of printables and things that I have obviously been, printing when making printables. So I had a variety of papers with, if I just show you, fussy cuttable pieces, fussy cut type pieces. And then actual patterned paper sheets, if that makes sense. So, I had a real variety and, as I say, I just grabbed anything that was laying around. So I had a big variety of colours, I had a big variety of pieces, just so that if anything took my mood that day, I would obviously have, something that would hopefully kind of fit with it. So that's all the paper that I took. As you can see, I mean, there was just a little doily piece just lingering in there. I just grabbed any old bits of pieces of paper, really. I also had some plain pieces of just coffee dyed cardstock, which there you can see there, just a whole bunch of, selection of papers. So that's kind of that. I mean, these obviously are very messy now because I have been crafting with them. But when I packed the bag originally, obviously I hadn't been cutting into pieces, so they were all stacked pretty neatly within the canvas bag. So that's the papers that I took. Then I took my little folder here of just stamped images, and it just has bits and bobs really in here. So it's got a few kind of flowers and things from some vintage books. It's mainly predominantly stamped images, but it has a variety of things. Just so that, again, I had a bunch of stuff and a whole variety of things to use. So that's that one. And again, obviously that just fitted neatly inside the canvas bag. I took a couple of these plastic wallets with me, and I don't know what size these are, but they're just the regular size that you get for kind of storing your college work and things like that. So I took 2 of them. One I used for pieces that I made, so that's this one, which I'll show you in a moment. And then this one, which actually is, horribly damaged. I took this one so that I had something to store bits in as I fussy cut things out. So, these are the bits that I've obviously fussy cut while we were on holiday that I haven't yet used. So they're all just in there, keeping them tidy. So those were those. And again, obviously, this one was obviously empty. Well, they were both empty, but what I'm saying is this is now very bulgy because it's got the things that I made. But originally this was nice and flat and so stored really neatly in the canvas bag. And then the final thing that I took a while ago I had a package delivered via Amazon, and it was in this kind of like brown paper sack type thing. I've only ever received one thing in this, and I just thought it was such a handy kind of sack because I've used this several times when transporting my things around. It holds a phenomenal amount of stuff. It's really sturdy. So in here, I just packed up a whole bunch of bits and bobs that I thought I might like to use. So I've got some die cut pieces in here. I have got some lace. Again, this was just the lace that I happen to, you know, have been using most recently. So it was just on my desk. Oops, I've got another pair of scissors, which obviously that was overkill. I didn't really need 2 pairs of scissors. I have my card there for, you know, spreading the glue. And then I just took my favourite stamps. So I just grabbed a bunch of my favourite kind of stamps there. Let me just get them out. I've got my Tim Holtz, my mini stapler, and some spare staples. I've got my black Stays On. I've got that gorgeous Toffee Crunch Memento ink pad. Got that lovely Azure. I've got my corner rounder, and I've got my circle punch. And then final 2 stamps. Just get them out. So as you can see, you know, I've just got here a variety of things, but they didn't take up a huge amount of space, you know. And these stamps, I mean, see, this is my favourite big swirly one. I've got a small corner one. I've got this one, which is kind of like a journaling, like labelly type thing. I've got this small frame, which I love. Just got that postcard stamp. Bit of script and sheet music there, and my script stamp. So, you know, just a handful of stamps, but really versatile, you know, useful ones. And obviously it all just slotted into that package, which really didn't take up too much room in the bag. And, you know, particularly when I left, the bag was quite neatly packed. So, oh, and obviously I took my glue. So, yeah, those were the things that I actually took, all stored neatly in a canvas bag. Obviously, this probably wouldn't be any good if you were actually flying somewhere, because obviously the paper would weigh a lot in your luggage. But if you were doing any sort of road trip or travelling by, you know, camper van or, you know, camping or anything like that, I just thought quite a kind of useful toolkit, I suppose, is just, you know, a bunch of paper and a few basic items that all just fit neatly into a canvas bag, really. I'm going to just pop these things away now and clear my desk, and then I can show you 1 or 2 of the things that I made to give you an idea of, you know, the types of things that you could create with these just quite basic materials. So I've got a whole bunch now of gorgeous goodies that I made whilst away. So, I mean, obviously I didn't craft every day. You know, I know this looks like a lot of stuff, but I crafted the first week quite a bit in the mornings while the kids were still asleep. So I did quite a bit in that first week. I didn't particularly craft at all in the second week, but I crafted quite a bit in the last week. So, you know, like in the afternoons when we'd get back, I'd quickly have my shower. The kids would be, you know, mucking about. Sometimes they would kind of go down to the pool. It was on a big kind of, you know, camping type place. And I would just take a bit of time then crafting. And would you believe I even did a couple of bits in the car on the drive home. The only thing that I didn't take, actually, and I made a conscious decision not to take, was I didn't take any distress ink or anything, because I thought it's quite messy. And obviously we're staying in like Airbnb accommodation. I didn't want to, you know, risk kind of inking up anybody's furniture or anything like that. So I didn't do anything like that. And I thought what I would do is obviously just create my little items. And then when I get home, I can obviously then distress them. I can add bling, I can add lace and things like that where I need to. So I'll just show you kind of 1 or 2 of the things that I created. So this piece here, obviously I just took some of the plain page, you know, not plain page, sorry, some of the background page paper. and then layered it up with some book page and then some fussy cut pieces there. Little stamped image there from my little, you know, pouch of stamped images, and a little word. And then I've obviously popped some lace across the top. So, I mean, I think that looks really pretty as it is. But I would probably now ink that with some vintage photo. Now I'm home, I would maybe add a bit of bling or something to that. And that's just such a pretty piece then. So, you know, what I'm trying to say is I haven't created the finished product necessarily. I have created to a point. And now I have a bunch of things that I need to now work on and embellish further now that I'm home with my full supplies. So there's that piece. Again, I did a little corner here. This was on some watercolour paper, which I was really lucky because one of the Airbnbs that we stayed in, she had, I mean, obviously she had lots of books and things like that, but she also had some watercolour paints and some watercolour paper. So while we were there, I just did some background there on some of the paper. So it's in this pretty blue, layered up some book page and some of the background page, and again a butterfly and some lace up there. And again, you know, I mean, I quite like this bright, but I mean, I could now vintage photo it to distress it and make it look a bit old. And again, you know, I could just add a bit of bling to that, and that just finishes that really nicely. Could add a bit of bling to the butterfly. I mean, obviously I would chop that down, I wouldn't just leave it long. But so I've got, again, kind of options with that. This was a tag that I made also from that same watercolour paper, which again I just fussy cut, well, I fussy tore actually some of the flowers from my botanical ballroom background papers, and then layered up with some stamped images and some vintage book page just to make that tag. And again, obviously now that I'm home, because this is only quite finished, I could obviously layer that onto some coffee dyed paper or something, or I could leave it and just distress ink that up. And then I could finish it off with maybe some pretty lace or some fabric or something as a little tab there. You know, just by punching a hole or something like that at the top. Just trying to show that really, with just that one bag of things, and as you can see, I mean, I've come back with an incredible amount of paper that I didn't use. So, I mean, I clearly overpacked. But it was more I wanted to have a choice of things to use rather than be kind of stumped and wish that I bought other things. You really can have quite a bit of fun even when your supply is quite limited. Then I've got this little cluster piece that, again, I did this with some background page and then a little image from, again, the botanical ballroom, some book page and a little flower that just happened to be lingering in that stamped folder piece, and some lace trim across the bottom. And then again, you know, I would probably finish that off now with a bit of bling. You could distress ink it, or you could leave it as it is. You know, I think either would look really pretty. I quite like it as it is, but who knows, I might prefer it being inked up. But, you know, that's just another little piece. I'll just show you one or two more. So again, this was another tag that I've made. So again, this was using that watercolour paper and my favourite big swirly stamp. So I just stamped around, and then I've layered up some of the background page and this lovely image here from, again, the botanical ballroom, and then I've popped some lace on there. I've roughed up the edges, as I quite like to do on most of my tags. And again, I could just either distress ink this a little bit. I think I did actually coffee dye this. I went out to the garden and actually coffee dyed some of the watercolour paper. Excuse me. To finish it off, and then again could pop some bling on there. Could finish it off again with kind of a lace tab or something at the top. Wanted to add some colour, could pop some flowers on. It's just, again, the basic piece there. Or, you know, I don't mind it quite monotone like that. It's quite nice to have some monotone pieces, really. I've got this piece again, which I've just layered up. This was from the Secret Garden kit, some background page there. Again, just a stamped journaling label there. Another flower that happened to be lingering in that pouch. A little word, and then just glued down this acetate piece as a kind of, you know, tuck spot there at the back. So again, I've roughed up the edges. That could now be either stuck down on a page as a little tuck spot or a pocket, or it could be used as a tag, you know, punch a hole in it. I quite like these square ones when they have a hole in the corner, and again some lace kind of there. And again, just ink it up or not. Choice is kind of up to you really, but yeah, so I won't bore you by showing you every single thing that I've made, because obviously we would be here for quite a long time, but I might do a couple of process videos just finishing off some pieces here that you know are half done. So I just wanted to come on really and give you some suggestions and ideas. I mean, as I say, Sheree from Turquoise Dreaming, I know that she does loads of videos on, you know, crafting whilst you're on vacation. So check out her channel. I will try and remember to link her below. She has some fantastic ideas, and you know, that don't involve taking that massive canvas bag. So, you know, she's got some really clever ideas and things. So it's definitely worth checking her suggestions out. So yeah, I hope that you all enjoyed this very quick holiday crafting ideas video. Oh, and I was really lucky and managed to pick up loads more junky rings on our travels. So I always think that you get quite a lot of junky jewellery when you're on holiday abroad. So yeah, managed to get quite a few at like markets and things like that. So I will be wearing them in the next few videos, no doubt. So right, anyway, enough of that. And yeah, it's really nice to be back. I'm waffling a little bit because obviously I'm now a little bit out of sorts really from doing videos. So it's really nice to be back, and I just want to thank everyone so much for your lovely comments whilst I was away. Obviously I had worked quite hard, you know, put in lots of videos ready to be uploaded whilst I was away. So I apologise if I haven't yet got round to catching up with comments, but obviously I have now, you know, the aftermath of the holiday, i.e. washing and things like that to be doing. But I'm getting round to it. So yeah, thank you so much, and I will see you all again soon. Thanks then, bye.